with regard to imagery in general, then it is forbidden. It is forbidden, meaning the making of the tasweer, the making of an image, whether it be with your hand, with a brush, whether it be making a sculpture, whether it be using a piece of equipment or technology, the origin is all of it is prohibited. That's the origin. Why? Because the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that the most severely punished on Yawm al-Qiyamah will be the musawwirun, will be the image makers. And likewise the hadith of Abdullah ibn Abbas when a man came to him and he says, I make my living from making images. So what am I supposed to do? So then Abdullah ibn Abbas, he mentioned the hadith of prohibition because he used to make a living out of imagery, making pictures. So he prohibited him using the hadith of Allah's Messenger ﷺ, and the man was disheartened. So Abdullah ibn Abbas said, if you must do it, then do it of those that do not have a soul. Meaning trees, mountains, clouds, sun, this kind of stuff. So therefore, it is established that imagery of anything that has a soul is prohibited. Therefore, that remains in our times the modern technology of photography. Then with respect to photography, photography is imagery, like any other image. So photography is to take an image. And you say, what's this? It's an image. What's the image of? It's an image of Fulan and Fulan with his classmates or whatever. It's an image. So is it allowed or prohibited? The origin is, that is prohibited as well. The Prophet ﷺ said that on Yawm al-Qiyamah, it will be said to the ones who made those images, put your life into it, and they will not be able to put life into it. And because of that, they will be cast into the hellfire. They will be dragged into the hellfire because they won't be able to put life into that which they made themselves. So that's the origin. Now that we've dealt with the origin, are there exceptions? And the answer is yes, there are exceptions. And those exceptions are based upon need. So there is a group of scholars that allow the transmission of beneficial durus, or beneficial knowledge, or something of benefit from one location to another through video. Why? Because there is a maslaha for the Muslims in that. Like for example, if one of the scholars is delivering a lecture, then it is broadcast, or it is put onto video, and it is watched by people in another location, in another city or another country. So a group of the scholars, not all of them, some of them were even against that. They said, no, that is prohibited. From them, Sheikh Muqbil. From them, Sheikh Rabi'. From them, Sheikh Badiuddin Shah as-Sindhi. So a group of the scholars, they prohibited it completely. They weren't interested in any of these excuses. But then there was a group of scholars, they said that there's a maslaha here, there's a need. Now when you take a normal photograph of a person, there's no need for that, unless it's a passport or an ID card. Because without a passport, you can't travel. Without an ID card, you can't drive a car. You know, in certain countries, you can't even live in that country without an ID card. So that shows either haja, a need, or a necessity. As for photographs or videos of, let's say, someone's wedding, or a photograph of someone's graduation, or that you are sitting in a restaurant having a meal and you say, I'm just going to make this video, or I'm going to take these photographs because, you know, I was with my mates and I was with my friends and, you know, I just want to put it online and put it on Insta and put it on Twitter and put it on here and there. This neither has a need, nor is it necessary. A graduation photo is not necessary, not of men and not of women. There is no necessity in that, and there is no need. There is no maslaha. There is no shar'i benefit in doing that. Let alone that a person should take pictures of himself, because that actually, you know, makes you question his ego. You know, he's doing it really because of self-adoration. He loves himself. Just like a person who's always looking in the mirror. He's always doing this and he's doing that and he's doing, you know, checking his beard. And he's there and his wife's saying, you've been in the mirror for 20 minutes, what are you doing? This is self-adoration. What is worse than looking in a mirror and doing that and becoming, you know, filled with pride as to how gorgeous you are and how lovely you are, is that you would take a picture of yourself and then broadcast it to the people. Or someone comes to you and says to you, brother, will you do a selfie with me? Like some people, I don't know where they get the strange idea that I would ever agree to that. They say, brother, can I take a selfie? I say, on what planet do you think we live that I'm going to allow you to take a selfie of me with you? But the people who do that, it's because of self-adoration, or because of showing off, or because they want to be famous, or they want to be known, or they want others to know who they are close to. Right? So they want this thing that look, I took a picture with this footballer, or with this sheikh, or with the fulan and fulan. So he takes the picture. Because he's trying to show something. What's he trying to show? Self-importance. Look how close I am to fulan. Look with this boxer. Look with this fighter. Look with this footballer. Right? So all of that, not only is it haram in the sense that the origin is haram in tasweer, it is also haram from the level of it having no purpose except self-adoration, showing off and seeking fame. Just like the person who poses after getting their degree certificate. So he poses and they say, right, give us, I don't know, they normally charge money, right, these portrait people. They say, come with your gown and with your hat and whatever, and bring your rolled up certificate and we'll take a picture and we'll charge you 40, 50 pounds for it and you can hang it up and we'll frame it for you and whatever. What's that except showing off? Look, guys, I got a degree for what it's worth these days. All right, I've got a degree. So it's showing off. This is different to what some of the mashayikh talk about of broadcasting something for maslahah. Even let's say someone is trying to teach the people how to make wudu. You can see the benefit. Whether I agree or disagree is not the point. But you can see the maslahah of a person saying, look, there's so many people out there don't know how to make wudu. So I will practically make a video and make wudu because I see a maslahah in this. Right? So therefore, you can see the wajh. Where is the wajh? Where is the benefit in the selfie? Or that you're sitting in a restaurant eating burgers and fries and say, here's all my mates and here's a video, and then you put it on Insta or on YouTube. Salafis indulging in this is even worse because you're setting the poorest and the worst example to the people. We're supposed to be the best example to the people of piety, of the fear of Allah and wara'. And we are the people who are the furthest from self-adoration and showing off and seeking fame. So when Salafis get involved in these types of affairs, then that sets a precedent and an example that the younger generation will follow, and they will stretch because each generation pushes the boundaries. And I used to say years ago, the brothers have started this selfie craze now among themselves. Haram. But they have started it. It won't be long before the women do it. Now Salafi women are doing it. This is me, my niqab on, so the eyes, you can see the eyes. And here we are on the beach, or here we are in the restaurant, or here we are in the shopping center. It won't be long before the women do it, and the women are doing it now. And there are certain sisters who don't even wear the niqab. They say, well, niqab is not wajib. I've studied the issue. I've read the Jilbab al-Mar'atul Muslima of Sheikh Al-Albani, and I hold that the niqab is recommended but not wajib, and I don't wear makeup. So I'm going to take a selfie and I'm going to post it online. Why? Because it's not haram. So what is the excuse of the brother whose wife it is, or sister it is, or daughter it is? And he says, no, you can't do that, sis. What are you doing? She says, well, you do it. Yeah, but I'm a man. So there's one law for women and another law for men. There's a Sharia for men that allows them, and there's a Sharia for women that prohibits them. If photography is permissible, then why not permit? Oh, but you're a fitna. And men can be fitna as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the ayah commanded the believing men and the believing women to lower their gaze. Did he not? Or did he just command the men to lower their gaze, but he didn't command the women? So women have to lower their gaze and men have to lower their gaze. So the woman says, well, if I'm a fitna to you, don't look. Lower your gaze. Just like if a man is a fitna for me, I will lower my gaze. So you open the door. And when you open this door, the boundaries are pushed and pushed and pushed. To the point where now a man will go to a wedding even from our Salafi brothers, and make a video of the wedding. People eating, people laughing, people joking, and he says, I did this from memory, and then he uploads it onto YouTube. Where's the maslaha? In the Sharia, where's the maslaha? There is no benefit in the Sharia of any of this. However, let's take an example where there is a maslaha, like Sheikh bin Baz mentions. A criminal who has killed some people. So he comes into custody and he escapes. Is it allowed to put his picture in the newspapers to protect the society so that he can be caught? Yes, because now you see the maslaha. Now you see the benefit. So you can see the benefit of why those scholars would allow that. Likewise, there's a physician who's learning medicine. So to learn medicine, you need practice and you need to know what the human body looks like in detail. So he has a textbook. If there's some sort of ailment on the face, so there's a photograph of a face and it shows the types of, spots or rash on the face and what it's described as, a fungus or something. So that you can see the maslaha. Please don't allow anyone to try to compare that to a selfie or to a wedding video or to a wedding photo or to a graduation photo or just showing off. Salafis should be the furthest from this type of conduct. Furthest from this type of conduct. And the people say, well, the selfie, thing is a new thing. No, it's not a new thing. We used to have cameras in the 1980s. Canon and Olympus and so on. Right? These were old cameras, and you take a photograph and you put a film inside this machine into the camera mechanism. You can get them from second-hand shops. You put the film inside and you're allowed to take 24 photographs. Then you open the back and you get this rollout. You go to the chemist and you say to the chemist, can you develop my photographs? He says, yes, come back in 4 days. You come back in 4 days, he gives you a little folder, and inside are 24 photographs. On these machines, on these cameras, there used to be a button. I know because I used to have one of these cameras when I was a kid. And the camera button, you press it and you have a choice. It will auto take the picture in 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 1 minute. So the idea was that you put the camera on the shelf, and you step back, and you got 15 to 30 seconds to fix yourself up before the auto photograph is taken. And you have 24 chances. All right? So they used to have it. Yet, our Mashaykh never did that. Bin Baz, Sa'di, Ibn Uthaymeen. You see photographs of them, with their arms around someone and smiling into a camera, or about to eat a burger or a chicken leg. Why? Because they are the people of taqwa. And we consider them, without making ta'yin, to be the awliya of Allah. And that they have wara', they are pious, they are righteous. Fame was the last thing on their mind. And showing off and, some of the things that the people do today. As I say, so it moves from the men to the women, from the men and the women to their children. Now you see children doing it. And some of you do it. You'll take a picture of your children and you'll share it. Or you'll upload it. Fear Allah. Don't you fear the evil eye for your children at least? And some of the people, they'll go, and I've seen these. They'll go to a barber shop and they'll do a qaza' from the brothers, from Muslims. Do a qaz, do this haram hairstyle, and then take a selfie whilst they're drinking a cup of coffee or something and broadcast it to the people with their new trainers on or a new trousers or tracksuit or whatever they're wearing. What kind of example are you setting to the people? Is this what we want from the new generation? We want from the new generation that they're fearful of Allah, obedient to Allah, have taqwa of Allah. How was the da'wah of Sheikh Al-Albani spread? Where's the videos of Al-Albani? You found one yet? What do they get? They get some sort of passport photograph of his, and that's what you see on every YouTube video. You've heard of Al-Albani. He died possibly before you were born. Right? How did the knowledge of these ulama, they say, well, knowledge cannot be transmitted, unless you're doing a video or you're doing something like this or you're doing one of these podcasts or something. So how did the knowledge of Al-Albani reach you? He's from the recent scholars. How did Muqbil's knowledge reach you? Because Muqbil was even more stern against video and photography even than Al-Albani. And all of you have heard of Imam Muqbil bin Hadi al-Wadi'i. How did the knowledge of Badiuddin? Badiuddin went to a conference once in Pakistan of Ahlul Hadith. They invited him. And they put him on stage and said, come Sheikh, you're on stage next. So he's on stage, he looks behind him, and there's a picture, a photograph of one of the mashayikh of Ahlul Hadith. So he said, no. If I remember correctly, I think they had to pull it down, or he pulled it down, or they pulled it down, or something. He wasn't willing. He came to Green Lane, Badiuddin. I was there. 1995, I think, or 94. 95, 94, 94. And they started making a video of him. And they had people from the Urdu-speaking newspapers. This is an imam of the Sunnah. As they took out their cameras and they put them onto the stands, he started shouting at them. He said, don't you dare put those away. Tasweer is haram. But the point is, Badiuddin's name is heard in every corner of the world. And he died in 95 or 96. Sheikh Muqbil's name is heard in every corner of the world, and you don't see a single photograph of his. Sheikh Al-Albani doesn't have a single video. Show me a maktaba, Ahlul Sunnah or Ahlul Bid'ah, that don't have the books of Al-Albani. To say that knowledge cannot be conveyed except by these means of podcasts and videos and so on, then that is kadhib. I'm not saying that there's no benefit in it, but to say that this is the way and all the other ways are somehow outdated, outmoded, then that's a lie. Because the scholars have been giving knowledge for 1400 years without any of this. And Allah carried their knowledge. We heard of Sheikh bin Baz not through watching videos. I never saw a video of Sheikh bin Baz up until the YouTube era. I'm trying to think. True, I never saw a video of Sheikh bin Baz up until the YouTube era, which is 15 years old. I never saw a video of Ibn Uthaymeen up until the YouTube era. Yet, my love for him did not diminish because I didn't see his face. Sheikh Rabi, where's the videos of Sheikh Rabi'? Some shaitan went in, took a picture of him whilst he was talking, and that's the same photograph that Ahlul Bid'ah and everyone is using now. That's Rabi bin Hadi. Took a picture of him secretly. They'll answer to Allah in front of Allah when he asks, who gave you the permission to take my tasweer when you know that I hold these images to be haram? So the issue is not that I am saying alal itlaq, all forms of tasweer are haram, but to use imagery as a form of self-adoration and self-promotion and showing off and seeking fame, and at the same time it has no shar'i or da'wah benefit whatsoever. It is only, the one who does it is only at his own destruction. Over time, he will destroy himself. Over time, that person, whether he's a student at university or whether he's whatever he is, he's going to harm himself in the long term. If some of our mashayikh and some of our students of knowledge, some of my brothers, they make a video, and you've probably seen, I've done a video. We asked Sheikh Ubaid al-Jabari, rahimahullah. He said if there's a maslahah and it will reach the people and it is an important, a very important topic, and you make a video and they come to make a video of your lecture and then it's transmitted and preserved and spread, he said no harm. Because this is da'wah. How is a selfie da'wah? How is a selfie da'wah? How is sitting in a restaurant drinking coffee with your mates, men or women? Women do it now and men do it now. Where's the da'wah benefit in that? Barakallahu feekum.